Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Geros. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while. It's been a minute. Last time we did this, it's been months. But hey, we are back. Welcome to this stream. And today we're talking about a lot of stuff. We're talking about food as medicine. We're talking about best anti-aging foods. Those foods that you can keep eating to, keep looking younger, or that can help you delay the physiology of aging. And I'll be hosting the amazing Amanda Twebaze-The Nutritionist. So she's a pro in this game. So guys, if you're joining us from everywhere, make sure that you like the stream, make sure that you ask your questions in the chat, and make sure that you share this stream so that we can have more people joining in and ask questions. Otherwise, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As always, we've not done this in a while, but hey, we are back. So today, as you already see the title, already see the thumbnail, we're talking about food as medicine and best anti-aging foods. Those foods that contain anti-aging properties and can protect the quality of your life. So research has always shown that dietary habits influence chronic disease risk. While there are other foods that put you at the risk of chronic disease, there are certain foods that have a protective effect. And that's what we're going to be digesting today, me and Amanda. So please stay tuned. So without wasting time, let me bring my guest in. Yes, good evening, Amanda. How are you doing? Talk to the people.
Good evening, first of all. I'm excited to be back on Geros Fitness YouTube channel. I've literally told the whole world, that I'm going to be here. It's always exciting to, just discuss with you and share the passion and enthusiasm for health and wellness.
Oh, thanks so much. This is my second time hosting her on my channel. If you didn't check the last stream that we had, you can go through my other videos. You'll be able to check out that stream because it was an amazing stream as well. So before we go far, who is Amanda and how come that she's the guest we are hosting today to talk about this topic?
Well, I guess Amanda is a Ugandan, very proud one. And to be specific, I'm Ochiga, although many people doubt that. But I am, I guess, a young professional who's very excited about, just living the best quality of life possible, enhancing our productivity. We don't have much time on this earth, so if we can make the most out of it and, be pain-free, look good, feel good, then, that's the purpose.
Oh, perfect. So before we go to the topic, Amanda, I want people to understand a difference between a nutritionist and a dietitian, because I've seen most people ask me, what's always the difference? We have these people who take themselves as nutritionists and other people who say we are registered dietitians and nutritionists. So where do the two meet? Is there a meeting point or they are completely different?
They are very similar because really they, tackle how food affects our bodies and how we also handle food as people. But where the difference comes in is probably the types of courses, because you'll find a course that just says maybe the science of human nutrition without the dietetics part. And for example, the one I did that is, Bachelor of Science in Human Nutrition and Dietetics. So it's a bit of a mix-up when it comes to the titles of the courses, but also when we look at dietitians, they are more all-rounded, they are more professionalized because they go through very rigorous training to become dietitians. Actually, to be honest, so many of the dietitians that we have available have studied, abroad in the Western world, because you have to go through, some like more rigorous internships than we have done down here in Uganda. And then there are also entry exams. You have to actually get a license, and yet for nutritionists, it's more, you can be self-taught and even become a nutritionist. So it's perfect. For nutritionists, yeah. Unless you want to back it up with, qualifications, then definitely go to school.
Yeah, I think that's really important. So guys, dietitians actually go to school for 4 years. That's what I know. You go to the university for 4 years, study the course, graduate, do internship and you have a professional license, you have a body that is actually governing you. While nutritionists like me, we are just self-taught. I mean, someone can create a course out there that you can go learn and then become good in this game, but does not mean that you're actually a dietitians. So you'll find dietitians much more in a hospital setting, helping out patients. You can have renal dietitians, you can have diabetic dietitians, you can have, I think there's so many subsections in there. But going into that topic straight, let's first talk food as medicine. How does food nourish our body and protect our bodies, Amanda?
I mean, everything that moves, that works needs fuel, and for our bodies, that is food. If you do not have food, then you don't have the fuel that you require to say have the energy to do whatever work you need to do. Fight disease in case it affects you or hits you. You're not able to be as productive as you need to be. So food is basically, in simple terms, the fuel that drives us, and that's why it's so important for us to put it into perspective when we are looking at health, anti-aging, and everything else when it comes to productivity.
Oh, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. So, do all foods are all foods do that? Can all foods do that, or there are certain foods that have a strong effect when it comes to working as medicine?
When it comes to the different nutrients, specific purpose in our body. So not all foods are going to give you energy. Not all foods are going to, some are more suited to, protect you from disease. Some are more suited to make your body thrive, say, have better hair, have better nails, some are more suited for repair and, healing in our body systems. So it depends on what particular food group you are using and, how you are actually using it, how much you are taking in.
So let's talk about those foods. How does protein come in to give you a protective effect? How about fats? How about carbs? How you can just give us some examples and how they actually come in to help us protect our bodies.
Anti-aging, huh? So for starters, let me just say, the anti-aging, realm really hit hard for me once I clocked 30. That's when it really got real. Like, okay, this is serious, and you need to do your best. Eat right, take care of yourself, so you don't, should I call it, wear and tear as quickly. Because for those that may not know, when it comes to aging, it's a natural process, and all of us will have to go through or slowing down this process so that you can still be as vibrant as possible. You can still be as energetic as possible. You can still be as productive as possible. Maybe before we go into those particular food groups that actually would support anti-aging, too much, like makeup on and maybe bleaching, cosmetics, you'll find that their skins or their faces actually age quicker because of all the exposure that they have to these chemicals. So if you want to, really strive for anti-aging and to age like fine wine, like we like to say, then you really need to be considering having as little as possible exposure to toxins. So we're talking chemicals, even in our food, we're talking pesticides. And that's why you hear organic foods are becoming so, sought after these days, because people have realized the health benefit that they come with, that, there's not much artificial chemicals that will come and probably bring on a risk for you to either get disease, chronic diseases, or just encourage wear and tear in our bodies or injury and damage in our bodies. So that's one of the principles that I think is really important, and we probably are not taking it as seriously, that, you know what, reduce the amount of toxins that are around you. When it comes to people burning rubbish, that smoke that's coming from there could be toxic as well. When it comes to cooking, people will probably, for example, use, when they are steaming or boiling rice, when they, at the end, when the rice is about to get ready, everyone wants to have that dry rice with almost no, moisture in it. So you find some people put kavera or polythene on top of that rice to, absorb that water. And yet you are actually letting these plastic compounds leak into your food, and that could be a source of toxin as well. So if we can reduce the amount of toxin that, we actually expose ourselves to in every aspect. Toxin can also be in terms of stress, who's stressing you out, and making your stress hormone really go up there. So when we're looking at anti-aging, we really need to reduce exposure to toxin as much as possible. Jero, can I continue?
Yes, I'm hearing you continue. It's just your
Okay.
show.
It's just what?
It's your show.
Huh? Okay, and then of course, as we grow older, we use our bodies. Even if you're the lazy type and you don't work out, there's going to be wear and tear. There's going to be injury at some point. There's going to be damage. There's going to be overuse of some of these parts. And because of that, you find that you are aging as well. So if you are not taking care of yourself, this is where self-love comes in. This is where self-care comes in. And even in the food realm, you can still have self-love for yourself by, probably having foods that are going to heal the inside of your gut, for example, because our stomach lining does a lot of work from the time we are born. Actually, even before we are born, it's, out there. So if we can be able to just protect it and help it recover and help it heal when it has, these minor damages before they accumulate or, culminate into something more serious and more dangerous, that really helps with anti-aging. So, we're looking out for what is going to help us regenerate cells. We are looking out for example, collagen has is a very big contributing factor for this. Vitamin C is also very important for that. So for those of you that are doing your oranges and your lemons and your fruits, you're really helping as well with anti-aging. You're looking out for foods that are going to promote repair, like we said, and replacement of old cells, for example. So we should also be considering wear and tear, that as we grow, yes, we are using these parts, but they also need to be, kukanikad, like we say in Luganda. That just means you need to be a mechanic for them and, just repair these parts. So that's another very important aspect. But another aspect that definitely leads to aging is deficiency of nutrients. Sometimes it's not that we are not going for the massages and, showing ourselves self-love. We are not we're not drinking enough water, but maybe you are drinking water and yet your muscles actually need magnesium to be able to relax as well, because they're working all the time. And so you're not eating enough nuts, you're not eating enough dark leafy green vegetables, and you find that the deficiency of nutrients that are actually very important for, smooth running of our bodies. Like we said, food is fuel. So if you have a deficiency, or if you are probably eating too much of one particular food and excluding another, that means you don't have a balanced diet at that point. That deficiency can also bring, aging, not anti-aging. So being able to actually benefit from a versatile diet with vast foods in it would really be helpful as well when it comes to anti-aging. Here's the last principle I think is important.
Okay.
The last one that I think is important is we often think that physical activity is only really about the outside. So like you can see Geros Fitness, this channel, it goes ham, it goes hard on, workouts and doing this and burpees and all that. But as much as we are, on the outside physically active, even on the inside, things need to be moving if we're going to be looking at anti-aging. So even in our digestive gut, we need to see that, food is actually moving. It's not stuck up. It's not held up. It's not leaking, because there is a leaky gut syndrome that would actually cause aging on a really fast pace. So you have a gut that is actually functional. Even in your bloodstream, nutrients are actually being transported to where they need to go to, do the job they need to do, so that you don't have that deficiency of nutrients that we talked about that would still bring on aging. So as much as we keep things moving on the outside, even on the inside, we need to be really looking into, for example, fiber foods that are going to be letting, food move through our gut more swiftly, so that we feed the healthy gut bacteria, for example, but also, things that are unnecessary can actually be excreted through our bodies.
Oh, thanks for that.
Yeah, so those are the few principles I thought, we had to talk about.
So let's look at animal and plant. Which one has more strength when it comes to, anti-aging properties and, acting as medicine?
Let's look at
Animal and plant.
Sorry, I didn't
Plant
hear that.
versus animals. Did you get that, Amanda?
Hello?
I'm saying
No, I didn't.
Let's look at animal and plant foods, animal products and plant products. Which one is superior to the other when it comes to anti-aging properties and food acting as medicine? Should people concentrate much more on plant-based foods or animal-based?
Now that's also a very confusing part for most people, because we have touted plant-based diets as the best thing possible, and they're not wrong, because there's a lot to benefit from green diets. But on the other hand, animals, for example, have some of the best sources of zinc, which is such a great immune booster and therefore antioxidant for us. If you're looking at good quality protein, animals have some of the best sources. Some examples of the very many probiotic foods, which actually help us to, just generate more healthy stomach bacteria or gut bacteria, come from dairy products, for example, which is an animal-based food. So I think we shouldn't be despising the animal side as well. We should just be keeping a balance, have more of the plant-based, but don't forget to have the animal-based foods as well. Unless you're vegetarian or a strict vegan, then that's understandable. That means you need to have a specialized diet made for you, so that you're actually able to keep a balance of the nutrients you need.
Oh, that's interesting.